Hello everyone, today I'm gonna do the review of the Asus Vivobook 15 laptop. This is a Windows 10 laptop. It retails $500. I purchased that at Office Depot for $300. I'm gonna put the link in the description, and as of today this laptop is $400 at Office Depot. You know, at 400, not a bad price, but if you can get it 300, it's pretty good price for what you're getting. Let's go over the outside of the laptop. So on the left side we have the USB 2.0 and another USB 2.0. We have two different lights. One is for charging and one is the hard drive light. And on the right side we have SD card expansion, we have the headphone jack, we have USB-C, which doesn't charge the laptop, but you can connect your storage or other stuff to it. And then it has the HDMI port, which is really nice. I use that a lot. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more after. And then we have USB 3.2 super speed port, and this would be the charging port. This laptop weighs about 3.7 pounds. It's not that heavy. So let me open it up and I'll show you guys the boot up time, and then I'll talk about the specs. It boots up really fast. I would say probably under 10 seconds. And once it boots up, it also has a fingerprint sensor, so all you have to do is just place your finger. Okay, let me wait a little bit. And then you place your finger and that's it. It's probably under 10 seconds. So another cool thing about this laptop is the charger. It looks like one of those tablet chargers. It has a pretty long cable. I would say at least it's probably over 6 feet. So yeah, that's pretty nice. It's not big, you can carry it around. It's also a fast charger. It charges this laptop in under 2 hours, even though the battery doesn't last as long as they said, 9 hours, but at least you can charge it in under 2 hours, which is pretty nice. Let's talk about the build of the laptop. It's made of plastic, nothing too fancy. We have couple things on the bottom, couple grills. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It's a bit dark on my camera, but we have grills for the fans and grills for the speakers. We have bottom speakers. I'll talk about that a little bit more later. And then what we have is everything is made of plastic, which is a pretty good thing because it doesn't hold heat. It never gets too hot. I was doing some gaming, I was watching a lot of videos. I would watch basketball game on it for like 3 hours and it never gets hot. Like it gets a little bit hot on top, but the fans, I can rarely ever hear them. So that was a really good thing about this laptop. Let's talk about the screen. So we got a 15.6 inch 1080p resolution. This is a TN panel. It has a little bit worse angles than IPS, but personally I haven't had any issues with it. This was my personal laptop, so I wasn't like sharing it. I didn't have people in the room looking at it from the sides, or if somebody's on the right of you, they might not see it as good. But in my experience, like the angles were just fine. Even up and down wasn't bad at all. Just my experience. I know a lot of reviews are gonna talk trash about TN panels and stuff like that, but personally I liked it. The brightness of this laptop was really nice. To be honest, I would turn the display like almost all the way off at night because it will hurt my eyes. It's very, very bright. Not sure if you guys can see that on the camera, but it's very, very bright. Again, I'm not sure how many nits it has, like the manual or description didn't talk about that or display it or anything like that. So I would assume it has at least 250 nits of brightness. So that's a good thing. So let's talk about what's inside. It has the Intel i3 CPU 10th generation. It's a dual core, 4 threads, 1.2 gigahertz, and it turbos up to 3.4 gigahertz. Pretty snappy CPU, no issues with it. Then we have 8 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty standard for most of the budget laptops now. Please don't buy laptop with 4 gigabytes of RAM. You're not gonna be able to use it. It's pretty bad. But 8 gigabytes, really nice, snappy. I love it. And I believe it's upgradable up to 12, maybe even 20. Not 100% because there's nothing in the what do you call it, in the manuals and stuff like that. So just from the reviews I found out you can upgrade it to 12 at least. And it also has a 256 gigabytes SSD. Now SSD is so much better than the regular hard drive. I would rather have 256 SSD or 1 terabyte of regular hard drive. Just the speed, snappiness, when you start it up, it just boots up so fast. Literally like 10 seconds and you're good to go. You can start browsing. We also have a built-in camera microphone, so it's gonna be located right here. The camera was alright quality. I'm pretty used to now quality of cameras in these laptops. Every single laptop I reviewed, it has subpar camera, nothing fancy, but it does the job. You're gonna be able to do Zoom, Skype, whatever, you need it for classes. You can take pictures with it. You can do videos. Nothing fancy, but it does the job. We also have a Wi-Fi 5. I haven't had any issues with the Wi-Fi either. The moment it boots up, Wi-Fi connects, you're good to go, browse and stuff like that. Bluetooth, I also tried it out, no issues. I believe it's Bluetooth 4.2, I believe, or 4.0. Again, no issues, good to go. Now, when it comes to battery, in the description it said it lasts up to 9 hours. I'm not sure where they're getting those numbers. I used that. I switched the battery to, as you guys, even now the battery is on power saving mode, and I would watch a game, and then like basketball game usually lasts about 3 hours around there, and it would barely go from the full game. When I finish the game, I'm already under 20%, so I would say I get about 4 to 5 hours. In the power saving mode, maybe 5 hours, but regular mode, if I'm just watching a game or if I was gaming, no way I would get anywhere near 9 hours. I would say realistically, you're looking at about, I would say 5 hours. Now, the keyboard of this laptop was a pleasure to type. It's very spacious, the buttons are big, and it also has a backlit keyboard, 3 levels. It's not clicky, it's very soft. Your hands travel really nice around that. And a big plus, it has the number pad, which is really nice. But I believe most of the 15-inch laptops have the numpad. I'm just not used to it because I usually use 13 or 14-inch laptops, so that's a nice touch. So keyboard, definite plus, thumbs up. Now the touchpad was a little bit iffy. You have to adjust the settings, set the sensitivity on it. But one good thing about it is it has the fingerprint sensor, and fingerprint sensor works really good. So when you boot it up, you just put your finger on it and it just automatically logs you in. That way you don't have to type in your password or pins or anything like that. Pretty snappy, works really well. Now, the worst thing about this laptop was the sound. Fortunately, it was, honestly, I would give it like 2 out of 10. It's just a very bad sound. It's just not enough volume. I try adjusting it, I try doing different stuff, and it's just bad. Some apps, some website or apps would be a bit better. Like, let me play you guys something. And this will be the highest volume. Let me skip it to something a little bit more. Now at this, at least this part doesn't sound bad, but like, for example, if I would do Spotify, I would turn it all the way up, and if I have my laptop in the living room, and then I would go get something from my bedroom, which is like 5 feet away, I could barely hear any songs. If I'm watching the game, I would put the volume all the way up, and I honestly couldn't hear anything. I would have to get closer. It's just that bad. I'm shocked because, you know, this is a big laptop. It has a lot of space inside. They could have put couple, you know, couple good speakers. And problem is it's also facing downward, so they have them on the bottom. You know, from my experience, when they have it on the up, like on the grill or on the sides where they're facing up, they sound much better. So maybe that's why. What I was doing, I was connecting it to my TV. So as I mentioned before, it has the HDMI, so this was kind of like a lifesaver. I would just connect it to my TV and just watch it that way. Then I can turn the volume, you know, on my TV and adjust it that way. The final thing I want to talk about is the gaming. This laptop doesn't have a dedicated graphics card, so if you're a big gamer and you're buying it to play games, please don't. It probably won't play the games you want it to play, unless you're really into the old school games or arcade games and stuff like that. That it will play fine. I did download few games, for example Sims 4. It will play at lowest resolution 1080p. You can lower the resolution, maybe increase the graphics on it, maybe to medium settings, but again it might not play that well. But at 1080p lowest resolution it will play. I haven't experienced any lag on it, so that game will play. I tried doing Alan's Wake. That was one of my favorite games. It's a pretty old game, but when it came out it had really good graphics. But on this laptop, even on the, you know, I set the battery to the so I had the battery set to best performance, and I would, you know, I would play the game, and it's just I would get anywhere from 10 to 15 frames per second, which was non-playable. I tried lowering the, you know, the graphic, it just wouldn't work. I saw it before I bought this laptop, saw some people playing Fortnite and stuff like that. I'm just not sure how they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it like 720p different resolution, and maybe they're getting 30 to 50 frames, but unless you're getting 60 frames, it's hard to play a game, especially online shooter. Also try a few different arcade games, it will play them fine. I tried doing the Xbox streaming, which I have my Xbox in the next room, so I would play with this. It works fine, but that more depends on what kind of internet you have, so you gotta have a good speed. And I also try a few different arcades, like for example this one. Well, now it's doing the updates. I'll show you guys once it's done. So games like this, for example arcades, puzzle games, will play just fine. So as long as it's not very graphic card intensive game, those won't run good. And let's see the gameplay just a little bit. But yeah, this one plays just fine. And let me just check the settings. So we got this resolution 1920, and we got graphics at medium. So yeah, that one will work just fine. So yeah, it's possible to do some gaming as long as it's nothing new, nothing AAA. So just the arcades and puzzle games and stuff like that, or older games. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.